Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. So let's move the calendar here. We are going into the summer of 1916, which means that Romania has aligned to the French, and I've already changed those units out. Random events that were just drawn. There's a camel and a cavalry that went into Eastern Egypt, and probably going to be two camels going in down into Africa, although it's up to Dan, and he could also put colonial infantry if he wanted, but I assume he's going to put two camels down in the two territories that he has down there, but we'll let him decide. So getting on with my turn, we're buying 8 infantry, a colonial infantry, an artillery, 2 submarines. We have to, this is our free tank that we get, but we do have to pay 3 IPP because we were only at 1 on armored vehicles, and Germany, France, and Britain have to research them. Germany's the last one to research them because it started with Britain on the last turn, and they go after Germany does. Also, I get a free trench fighter this turn and a free colonial infantry in Africa. And I believe that's going to be my last free units that I'm going to get, colonial units, but we'll see. That might not be right. And then paying off 3 IPP for damage to my factory in Bavaria, and lend-leasing the Italians 1 infantry. So I do have 2 free diplomacy rolls, one for the mother of all naval battles in A11, and also one for what is it, Lithuania, I believe. I took Lithuania and I still have it. So you can only get 1 for a territory and 1 for a naval battle. So that's this. We're going to go for the Netherlands and Norway. I think we're at 2 for the Netherlands. Bob had it wrong there last turn. Oh no, we're only at 1. That's right. Okay. I thought we were at 2 now. Okay. Just looking at the chart here. So that's what we're going to go for. And then I have my recruitment roll for the Federales in Mexico. And then I've got my 3 technology rolls. We'll start there. So we are going to go for, let's move that back a bit. We're going to go for counter battery fire, hurricane bombardment, and fighter evolution, and the order of which is on that thing that you just seen there. Here we go. Oh, almost forgotten the cup. Here we go. 10, 4, 11. So everyone but the pink guy. The pink guy is the first one. So hurricane bombardment goes to stage 2, and fighter evolution goes to stage 3. That's 1917 fighters. Alrighty. Okay. And what's next? Oh, we've got our diplomacy rolls. So blue is Norway and orange is the Netherlands. Need 3 or less. Ooh, just missed Norway, but I did get the Netherlands. So the Netherlands is going to go to stage 2. Plus 1 IPP in trade. Well, that's good. I got another IPP there. Okay. But man, I've been rolling for the Netherlands or for Norway forever. Those guys just don't want to join me. I'm starting to think that maybe it's just me. Okay, attacks. Let's start here in Russia. So I'm going to take. Let's see. Let's take 1 of those guys there and 4 infantry here. So 4 infantry into Latvia and 1 infantry into Grodno province from Lithuania. Also from Lithuania, we'll take the colonial infantry and the Jaeger and 2 artillery into Latvia. And then from East Prussia, we're going to take 5 infantry into Grodno province, along with 2 artillery and a commander. And there's a fighter coming from Eastern Germany. And there's colonial infantry coming from Congress, Poland, into Grodno province. And down here in Bavaria, I'm going to do my mandatory offensive with just 6 infantry this time. I wanted to go with everybody, but I wasn't feeling brave this time. I just wasn't feeling it. Last time I was feeling it and I did pretty well, but this time it's just not there for me. And also going to do the attrition from Bavaria into Lorraine. Let me look around the board there. We're going to do the convoy rating in C-Zone A44. Also, we now have a sub down in... We got a sub in C-Zone M6. He's going to go to C-Zone M8. That's outside of Egypt there. And he's going to raid, and both of those subs are going to use unrestricted submarine warfare. I didn't use it before because the Americans would get money if you did that on their peacetime income. Now the Americans are at war, so all bets are off. So I'm going with unrestricted submarine warfare in C-Zone M8 and C-Zone A44. Let's see, South America. I will do an attrition attack from Gran Chaco into, I can't remember what that one is, but you'll see it when we go over there. Okay, so that's everybody, I believe. Yep. All right. Okay. So let's do the convoy rating first. We'll do the one in the Mediterranean, and there's nothing left but the British line. There's 3 IPP to take off the British line because Dan did such a great job against them. So we're +4 with the black dice. So that's 6-3. So that is the maximum we can take off of them. So 6 off the British on that line when you add it with the other 3. There we go. Good start. And C-Zone A44 now. Let's go, buddy. So that's 7-2. That's 5. Okay. Let's grab a 5 spot here. There we go. And we'll put it on the East Atlantic line. That's the one that goes from A44 up to the British home country there. Alrighty. That's pretty cool. So the British have lost 11 and the French have lost 5 when their turns come around. Cool. Okay. So, now then, we have got 14 at 1. 3, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's get all white dice in there. Those ones are ivory colored. Let's check that though. I'm not using the gas this time. It didn't work for me last time. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. And we've got 3 heavy artillery at 2. There we go. Okay, we need 1s on the white dice and 2s on the red dice. Okay, there's 1, 2, just 2. Okay. So we'll mark that for them. 2 in Lorraine. You will have to remove 2 units there, Tim. Okay, and then we will do the infantry. There's 6 infantry going in there. So that means that he will get his first strikes with his artillery. What has he got here? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 French artillery and 3 British artillery at 4. 4. And 3. I'm not sure if you would think that the railway gun is first strike 2. Yeah, it's not on the battle board. I'll just roll a dice for it, and we'll see that number, and we'll know if they got a hit. We'll check later. Okay, here we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's definitely not a hit with the railway gun. So 3 hits. Okay, and then that means I've got 3 left. So I will just take 3 at 2 for the infantry. And nothing. And I will concede that they are dead, since he's got 30 something at 7, and it just keeps going. So those guys are done, and I have my mandatory offensive in, and that will last me until 1918. That's cool. Okay, so let's do the attack right here. These guys are coming into Latvia. Okay, so we have 2 artillery, and what is there? 3, 4 infantry, and colonial, and a Jaeger. So let's just do the 2 artillery first. Well, I guess we might as well roll them all. And well, I can't do that here. Let's just do the artillery. We only got 1 to kill. There we go. He's dead. Okay. Now that's not worth anything. Let's just grab a pie here. So Latvia belongs to the Germans. The Germans. Okay. And then we are attacking Grodno province. So again, there's no terrain. So that's 2 artillery again. And he's dead. There was only 1 guy there. So that's 2 Russians down, and we will take a pie in Grodno province. There we go. All right. So let's take a look here. Okay. So here we attacked from Lithuania up to there, and we attacked from a couple of different locations into Grodno here, and we got them both. All right. No more attacks up north here. Actually, I think that's all for attacks. Okay, so non-combat movement. Let's just set this down. Okay. We're going to take... We're going to take 2 infantry out of Western Germany here. We're going to put them on the transport. We're going to come across to Lithuania. Then the transport's going to go back and go into port into Western Germany. This is off now since I collected my free roll. And then the 2 infantry from Eastern Germany are going to go to East Prussia. We're going to take, here, these guys are off. We're going to take, let's see, we're going to take 2 infantry from Western Germany to Bavaria. So we'll put those on. And that's all of these off. And this one's off. Okay. So let's move down to the southern half. There we go. So we're going to take this infantry in Chile and move him over to Patagonia. We'll take an infantry from Rio de Janeiro and move him to Gran Chaco. Oh, you know what? That is what I forgot to do. I forgot to do this attrition attack into here. So we'll do that. Let me just finish these. We'll go back there. We got some rolling to do anyway. So there is a German cruiser in P74. He's going to go to P75 and then here to P78. That's 2. And then 3 to A49. And then all of these guys are going to go into port with the transport here. So what I want to do, what has he got? 1 transport? I guess I could, no, you know what? Let's leave them out of port. I'd rather they had a fighting chance. Okay. And this is off, and this is off. Okay, we have another non-combat move. Okay, we have the German Navy here that's in port in M7. They're going to come out and go to here in M6 where the Ottoman Navy is. There's a TBD in port in Constantinople. He's also going to come over and join them in M6. And we've got the transport that's in port in what is that? Thessaly. He's going to come over. He's going to go up into C zone M5. And he's going to take 2 infantry. And he's going to place them in Rome. So let me just grab an infantry for that. There we go. So he's in Rome, those 2 guys. And I think that's it. The other guys aren't going to move. There's 3 other territories, but they're not going to move. Okay. Let's go back and do that attrition attack from Gran Chaco there. So that's 1 at 1. Nope. All right. Now then. I guess it's placing units now, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So let's place. We're going to place the 2 submarines in C zone M6 where we move the German Navy in the Mediterranean. And we're going to place 3 infantry into Western Germany here. put it over on the card here, or the task force marker, I should say. Okay. And we're going to place 3 infantry and a tank into Bavaria. There we go. And we'll put the trench fighter I was wondering what this was. That's an infantry there. There we go. So we'll put the trench fighter. Oh, the trench fighter from Berlin's also going to move down to Bavaria. Okay. So we'll put the trench fighter into Berlin. And we'll put an infantry in East Prussia. We'll put a colonial in Congress, Poland. And then we have got some more to put down here. We'll put an artillery and an infantry into Rio. And we've got a colonial infantry. This is the freebie that goes in Africa. And there's only one territory in Africa. So he has to go here. And I don't think it matters that it doesn't have a manpower icon. It just says put him in Africa. If it says something different, then I guess I'll have to take him off. And we really haven't defined that yet, I don't think. But we'll see. I'll put him there for now. And we'll fight about it later. We don't fight though. We just go, what should we do? Disposition. I've got these 2 guys still in. There's an infantry in Burma and a colonial infantry in Bengal. And we now have an infantry over here in Easter Island because that was a Chilean. We've got the 2 colonial infantry in British East Africa. And we have 2 cruisers. Pre-dread and a dreadnought in C-Zone A49. We have transport in port in Rio. We have an a militia in Chile. Infantry in Patagonia. We've got 7 infantry in Gran Chaco and an artillery in Gran Chaco. Infantry and artillery in Rio. That's all there. Okay, let's just look over here. So this is Eastern Germany. That's 5 infantry and 5 trucks. And this is Bavaria. So that's 5, 10, that's 15. Here, let's put this on. 15, 16, 17, 18 infantry, 14 artillery, 3 heavy artillery, a tank, a commander, a fighter, 4 balloons, and 2 trench fighters, and the phosgene gas. So here, this is the Navy in A11. Now they've been sitting there for a turn, so I can add a major shipyard so they can take off the damage marker on the 3 dreadnoughts. They also have a commander with them. So that's 3 pre-dreads, 3 dreadnoughts, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and a cruiser, and an effective commander. All the German commanders are effective, as long as they have observation. Okay, so we have a submarine in A44. We have a submarine in M8. 2 subs, 2 destroyers, pre-dread in M6. We've got a transport in M5, 2 infantry in Rome, 2 infantry in southern Greece, 4 infantry in Thessaly, and let's see, we have 4 infantry, 2 artillery, a colonial and a Jaeger in Latvia. We have 2 infantry in Lithuania. We have 6 infantry, a colonial, a fighter, and 2 artillery. Oh, and there he is, and the commander in Grodno province. We've got a colonial in Warsaw, colonial in Congress, Poland, 2 infantry in Lithuania, 3 infantry in East Prussia, and a transport in port in Western Germany. I do believe I mentioned the trench fighter in Berlin. If I didn't, then I have now. Oh, and we got Lend-Lease. So there's 1 infantry for the Italians, and he is going to northern Italy. Only 2 rolls left. Okay, here we go. We have recruitment roll for the big bad federales. 6. That is not going to be any good. And wartime economy. 10. Gotta like that one. Okay, so let's count up our money. The Germans are at 39 IPP. Plus, they've got Netherlands and Norway. That's 41 IPP. Plus, they have bonus of 3. That's 44 IPP. Plus 10 for wartime economy. That's 54 IPP. Alrighty. 54 IPP in the German bank. Nope, that says 40. There we go. Now I got 54 IPP in the German bank. Up here, you can see that Germany's at 39, and we did move up in the fighter evolution, so we're not going to have to pay to upgrade our fighters. And we also moved up in hurricane bombardment. That went to stage 2. And that's about it for the changes. You can see Netherlands is on stage 2 here, and Norway still at stage 3. Let me just spin you around a few times, get you all dizzy. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the German turn in the summer of 1916. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. Take care. General Hand Grenade out.